Hey everyone, today I want to talk about something most men never discuss openly, but almost every man does. Especially as we get older, this one habit becomes more than just a private moment. It could actually influence how your prostate ages. I'm talking about daily masturbation. What really happens inside your body when you do it every day? Some people say it keeps the prostate healthy, others warn it could cause problems, but what does science actually say? A team at Harvard once found that men who ejaculated more often might have a lower risk of prostate cancer. But here's the catch: frequency isn't the whole story. It depends on your age, your hormones, and how your body responds over time. So, does daily masturbation protect your prostate or slowly wear it down? Let's uncover the real, evidence-based truth, starting with what actually happens inside the prostate when you ejaculate. Let's dive into the science, because understanding what's going on inside your body might surprise you. All right, let's start with what's really happening inside your body. When a man ejaculates, it's not just about pleasure. It's actually a biological process that involves several systems working together. The prostate, a small gland located just below the bladder, plays a major role. It produces much of the fluid that carries sperm, and that fluid has to go somewhere. If that fluid stays in the prostate for too long, it can build up pressure and lead to discomfort or mild inflammation. That's why some doctors believe that regular ejaculation, whether through sex or masturbation, helps to flush out older fluids, keeping the prostate healthier. In fact, one Harvard University study observed that men who ejaculated more frequently had a lower risk of prostate cancer compared to those who did so less often. But before you take that as a green light, remember, this doesn't mean more is always better. Here's the interesting part: ejaculation also affects your hormone balance. When you release, there's a temporary drop in testosterone and a spike in hormones like prolactin and oxytocin, the ones that make you feel relaxed or sleepy afterward. For younger men, this fluctuation is short-lived. But for men over 40, whose testosterone is already slowly declining, daily ejaculation could lead to fatigue or reduced drive if the body doesn't have enough time to recover. And it's not just hormones. Frequent stimulation also impacts your nervous system. Every orgasm activates the parasympathetic nervous system, the rest and digest mode, which can be relaxing but, when repeated excessively, may leave you feeling drained instead of energized. So scientifically speaking, the key idea is balance. Ejaculation helps the prostate stay active and clears out old fluids, but doing it too often without rest might push your body's hormonal and energy systems out of sync, especially as you age. Now that we understand what's happening on a biological level, let's see how age changes everything and why this same habit can affect a 25-year-old and a 55-year-old very differently. As men get older, everything about the body starts to shift, and that includes how the prostate responds to sexual activity. Around the age of 40, testosterone levels naturally begin to decline, usually about 1% per year. It might not sound like much, but over time, that slow drop can change how your body feels, performs, and even how it manages prostate health. When testosterone decreases, another hormone called estrogen tends to rise in comparison. That subtle hormonal imbalance can cause the prostate to grow larger, a condition known as benign prostatic hyperplasia, or BPH. It's incredibly common, and it's one reason many older men experience frequent urination or a weaker urine stream. Now here's where masturbation comes into the picture. Moderate sexual activity or ejaculation can actually help keep blood flowing to the prostate, preventing stagnation. It also lowers stress hormones like cortisol, which, when left unchecked, can worsen inflammation and hormonal imbalance. In that sense, masturbation might offer a temporary benefit for the prostate and overall relaxation. But the key word here is balance. When it becomes an everyday habit, especially without enough rest, nutrition, or sleep, the body might not fully recover between releases. Men with already low testosterone may notice fatigue, reduced motivation, or even mild hormonal swings that affect their mood and focus. So while the act itself isn't harmful, the context, your age, your health, and your lifestyle matters a lot more than frequency alone. Researchers from journals like European Urology have pointed out that moderate ejaculation may support prostate health, but pushing it too far can have diminishing returns, especially for men in their 50s and 60s. Your body's ability to produce hormones, rebuild energy, and maintain prostate balance simply isn't the same as it was at 25. So, it's not about quitting or judging the habit. It's about understanding your body's limits as it changes with time and knowing that what once felt energizing might need a bit more balance as you age. Now that we know how aging changes the game, let's talk about what doctors actually recommend and how to find the right balance that supports both your hormones and your prostate. So, what's the right balance? After looking at the research and how the body works, most doctors agree on one simple point. It's not about how often you do it, but how your body responds when you do. Every man's system is unique, and what feels healthy for one person might feel draining for another. For many men, especially those over 40, moderate frequency, about 2 to 4 times a week, seems to offer the best of both worlds. It helps maintain blood flow to the prostate, supports hormonal rhythm, and releases built-up tension without overloading your nervous system. Think of it like working out. Some rest days are just as important as the activity itself. At the same time, prostate health isn't just determined by ejaculation. Lifestyle plays a huge role. Eating foods rich in lycopene, like tomatoes, watermelon, and pink grapefruit, may support prostate tissue. Regular exercise, such as walking or light resistance training, helps balance hormones and circulation. And one factor that often gets overlooked is sitting time. Men who sit for long periods, especially without stretching or standing up, can experience reduced pelvic blood flow, which might affect the prostate over time. Managing stress is another big piece of the puzzle. Chronic stress keeps cortisol high, and that can interfere with testosterone production. Practices like meditation, deep breathing, or even short walks outdoors can help restore hormonal balance naturally. So instead of focusing on whether daily masturbation is good or bad, it's more helpful to look at how your overall lifestyle supports your body. If you feel tired, restless, or mentally foggy, it might be a sign to take a break and focus on recovery. Listen to your body, it usually tells you what it needs. At the end of the day, prostate health isn't about one single habit. It's about how all the small habits, from diet and sleep to stress and sexual health, work together. Now that we've explored the science, the aging process, and how balance plays a role, let's wrap this up with one final thought. What's the real secret to keeping your prostate healthy as you get older? So, what does all this mean for men as we get older? The truth is, your prostate health isn't defined by how often you masturbate, it's shaped by how well you take care of your overall body. Daily habits like getting quality sleep, managing stress, staying active, and eating foods rich in antioxidants often matter far more than a single routine. If you choose to masturbate, that's perfectly normal. The key is to pay attention to how your body feels. Are you energized or constantly tired? Do you feel balanced, or are you noticing more fatigue and irritability? These are the real signals your body uses to tell you when it needs rest or change. And remember, no single habit will make or break your prostate health. Science shows that consistency in self-care, not extremes, is what helps men age stronger. Think of it as a long-term investment in your health, not a quick fix. So yes, the conversation about masturbation and prostate health shouldn't be taboo. The more we understand it, the better we can take care of ourselves. If this video gave you something to think about, make sure to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who might need to hear this. And stay tuned in the next video. We'll explore what really happens to your testosterone when you stop for 30 days.